Hi everyone. We're going to get started in just a minute. Okay, let's get started. Hi everyone and welcome. Thank you for joining our webinar today. The time has come again for NetSuite's second half-yearly release of 2023. And this means that you're going to see upgrades to its modules, enhancements for performance, and critical fixes for stability. For those who are new here, my name is Tina and I am the marketing manager for 79 Consulting. We do these webinars every month, and should you like to catch up with a past session, please do head on over to our website and to the webinars archive page where you can find all of our past webinars. A bit about our company, 79 Consulting. We were founded in 2007. And we've been providing support, managed services, and integration services for NetSuite and Salesforce clients worldwide. To extend NetSuite's platform functionalities, we have developed a number of Suite apps that you can find on suiteapp.com using the search term Tvarana, which is Tvarana. A quick note to our audience, please do post any questions that come up during the course of this webinar in our chat box, and we'll address them towards the end. We've also put in a single poll question during the course of this webinar, and it's just to get to know you a little bit better. Okay, on to our panel introductions. First up is Eric, who's our senior NetSuite architect with over 9 years experience on NetSuite. Eric is primarily focused on manufacturing and inventory distribution environments, and his direct industry experience helps him address our customers' unique requirements. Swati is our lead ecom consultant, and she comes with expertise in requirement gathering and working on end-to-end customizations. Uday is our scripting practice lead with over 17 years of IT experience. Uday is responsible for providing technical services to our customers, customizations, and ad hoc requests. Shravanti is our product development manager, and she works with the team on product discovery, planning and development, product demos, implementations, and post-implementation support. All right, folks, we have a lot of ground to cover and a whole lot of exciting updates. So without further ado, let's begin our webinar by discussing the purpose of NetSuite releases. Uday, why does NetSuite come out with these releases and how can our audience prepare for them?
Sure, Tina. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. So NetSuite rolls out major updates to its platform twice a year. These updates are called releases, and they affect NetSuite's entire customer base. So NetSuite uses these releases to introduce new features and enhancements, and also to deprecate legacy features. So all of this means that certain aspects of your NetSuite account could change significantly with a new release, and that the users must be prepared for the changes before they are released by NetSuite. So let's quickly talk about NetSuite's upgrade schedule. NetSuite upgrades its customer base in several batches, and so an upgrade window can last for over a month or so. You can find out your account's planned upgrade date from the new release portlet on the home screen after logging into NetSuite. If you don't see the new release portlet on your home page, you can add it by clicking on the personalized drop down and selecting the new release option. Also, for those wondering if one can opt out of a release, this is possible if you are on a dedicated NetSuite server, which is usually the case for very large enterprise customers. Moving on, you should also know that NetSuite provides a release preview account, which is a copy of your production account on the soon to be released version of NetSuite. So this is a free account that customers can use to test their existing business flows and customizations before the new release of NetSuite. In order to access a release preview account, you first need to opt in. So if you're an administrator, you can request for a release preview account by navigating to setup, company, and release preview on your production account. By clicking on the request release preview button, the release preview account is set up for you. So the opt-in window for 23.2 release is currently open. Okay, so now let's talk about how to prepare for a new release. Once you know your the NetSuite upgrade date for your account and the availability of the release preview account, it is important to be informed on what new features are planned in this new release and which ones could affect you. A good place to start is NetSuite's sneak peek, which is a page that lists the highlights of the new release broken down by industry and vertical. If there are features you'd like to learn more about, you can read through NetSuite's full release notes, which are available well ahead of a new release. The next thing to do is to prepare a testing plan, and the aim should be to have your NetSuite users test your key business flows and ensure that they're all working as expected. So we recommend that you test the following areas as a starting point. You should start off by testing the business workflows, and then verify any custom reports, queries, custom forms that have been developed in the NetSuite account. Then you should also verify all your suite scripts and customizations that have been developed. Also verify any SOAP web service integrations and any installed suite apps or bundles in your account. Your Suite Commerce site should also be thoroughly reviewed on the new version of the NetSuite release. And finally, verify any external integrations and make sure that there is no impact to the integrations because of the upgraded version. 79 Consulting provides all of these services, and you can reach out to us in case you need help with any of the above services. We'll also email a link to NetSuite's testing plan after this webinar. And we also provide both manual and automated QA services and specialize in NetSuite release preview testing. In addition, if you're subscribed to any of our apps, we have already validated them and they're ready to be used with the 23.2 release. So please reach out to us if you want us to upgrade them for you.
Great, thank you, Uday. And we'll circle back to you very shortly for your highlights on the scripting side. But for now, we are going to head on over to Swati, who's going to be talking about upgrades to NetSuite CPQ.
Thank you, Tina. Hi, everyone. Let's start with the updates to NetSuite CPQ, which actually means configure, price, quote. This helps sales teams to automate the generation of sales proposals and accelerate the sales process. At first, we have enhancement to item creation process. In here, we can see item creation records can now automatically generate the subscription plans. You can also include an item creation record in your subscription plan. And item creation records are now automatically reordered to ensure that components or items in subscription plans are created before even their parent item when the user submits that configuration record. NetSuite CPQ dynamically determines which fields are required, which fields have default values and which fields should be dimmed when setting the values for the items that needs to be created. The user interface's audit menu now has a dedicated option for the item creation. And after submitting the configuration, users can also now monitor item creation with a progress bar on the screen. And next we have updates to the favorites. In the NetSuite CPQ configurator, administrators can now create public and default favorites in their favorites menu. These favorites are accessible to all users, allowing them to quickly load common item configurations. When creating a new configuration, the default favorite loads commonly used selections. And the other thing we have is new options for editing and removing the line items. Version 1.2.4 of NetSuite CPQ configurator introduces 3 options for handling line items on the transaction records. First is remove all and prevent editing. This actually allows user to remove the entire configuration and cannot edit the individual line item values. And the second is remove all and allow editing. Using this, users can now edit configuration line item values, but they cannot delete the specific line items. And the third we have is remove single item and allow editing. This is actually the default option. By using this, the users can edit the line item values and remove specific line items without deleting the entire configuration record. And the last we have is the new option for importing and updating products. NetSuite CPQ configurator version 1.2.0 allows updating a product by importing a new version, holding the original product ID while replacing the other data within the information from the new product. And that's all from me, Tina. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Swati. And now back to you, Uday. And let's talk about updates to Suite Cloud and Suite Talk. Uday?
Sure. Thanks, Tina. So let's first start with the Suite Cloud SDK. Suite Cloud SDK or the Software Development Kit is a set of tools that can be used to develop SDF projects. So these tools include Suite Cloud IDE plugins and command line interfaces. The 23.2 Suite Cloud extensions for Visual Studio Code and Suite Cloud IDE plugins for WebStorm are targeted for release in August 2023. So these extensions provide a UI for NetSuite platform development using the SDF or Suite Cloud Development Framework. So moving on, the next set of updates that we're going to talk about is about SDF. SDF, like I mentioned earlier, is a development framework and deployment mechanism that help in creating customization projects. So the 23.2 version updates enhanced feature dependency support for SDF to include the item custom field SDF custom object. With this enhancement, users can fully install an SDF suite app even when some of its NetSuite features are not enabled in the target account. So when these features are later enabled in the target account, the relevant SDF custom objects become available to the users of the suite app. Moving on, the next section that we're going to talk about is the Suite Talk web services and related integration updates. So SOAP web services version 23.2 is not yet available. For the REST web services, we have a new update available, which is the commerce category. So you must enable commerce categories features for any interaction with this record, and the account must also contain a commerce catalog record to reference. And then finally, we'll take a quick look at the Suite script updates. We have an update to the encrypto module on the Suite script side for this release, the 23.2 release. So the encrypto random module is now available, which provides secure pseudo-random generation methods. So developers can generate random integers using these newly available methods for values that should not be predictable, like, for example, keys or unique IDs or tokens, etc. That's it from me, Tina.
Thank you, Uday. And now we're going to jump into platform updates that NetSuite has added to this release. And Eric is going to be talking to us about this pretty exhaustive list. Eric?
Thank you, Tina. Yep, today we're going to start on the accounting side. This section will speak to everything that's new to you for the accounting in NetSuite 2023.1. It includes a number of useful enhancements to the accounting features, and we're going to summarize this list and kind of condense it down for you a bit, since it is quite a long update. So the first piece is you're now able, in the budget legacy record, to add custom segments with Suite Analytics. A new record type, Budget Legacy, has been added to the Suite Analytics page. And this allows you to record custom segments on budgets in the analytics database. So previously, NetSuite did not support adding custom segment fields to the budget data set, but now if you create a custom segment for a budget, the field appears on the Budget Legacy dataset page. So now I'm going to jump into the fixed asset management enhancements. So these enhancements are available on the Suite App version 2023.2, where you have the ability to modify lease records with semi-annually and quarterly rental frequencies. We can now split fully depreciated assets and do a bulk asset split. Next, we can also modify lease records with semi-annually and quarterly frequency. Under this ability, you're able to set the lease terms for these records, and they will be converted to the number of months or years to match the depreciation period, which only supports monthly and annual options. The lease term should be equal to the asset lifetime after conversion. To split fully depreciated assets, the latest version of FAM Suite App now supports asset split on fully depreciated. On the asset split page, you can now select fully depreciated assets in the asset name/ID field. You can also do a bulk asset split through a CSV import. There's availability to grab a template for download, and then you can update and edit the template to import to do a bulk asset split. Okay, next we're going to jump all the way down to order management. Okay, in the order management section, we have a huge list of enhancements that we're going to summarize again for you. The first one being there's a new commit plus overage feature in Suite Billing. We can now do a make copy function in the subscriptions. We also get to, there's a list of new electronic bank payment enhancements, electronic invoicing enhancements, as well as Ship Central enhancements. Okay. The new commit plus overage feature in Suite Billing allows overages where companies can use the commit plus overage to charge prepayment for a contracted amount of usage at a specific rate. Then if the customer uses more than that contracted amount, the additional usage is charged at an additional rate. The make copy function under this new feature allows you to make copies of a subscription. When you click make copy, the make copy button in the subscription record, it creates a new subscription that opens in the create mode with most of the fields sourced and automatically filled from the original record. You can then make changes to any of those fields to adapt to the new record to meet the business needs. Under the electronic bank payments enhancements, we get a few pieces here too with custom plugins for implementation for invoice payment processing. We get the ability to process customer refunds using primary and secondary banks. We also get some custom, under the custom plugin implementation for invoice payments, we get to create custom invoice processing under a suite list using the EP API plugin SS2 functionality. Under the process custom record using primary and secondary banks, you do get the ability to process customer refund transactions on the customer refund payments page by using both primary and secondary entity banks. Okay. From here, we're going to jump into the inventory management piece, where we'll cover some of the SCM elements. So we get new lot sizing options under the minimum order quantity element for supply planning. You can create new planned orders. The minimum order quantity is required. These planned orders are generated by the planning engine. If you need more quantity, you can add the required amount to the minimum quantity field. So this enhancement will apply across all the additional NetSuite features, including item location configuration for lot sizing options, planned purchase orders when you use the minimum order quantity option, and as well as the quantity will be equal to the minimum order quantity when the required quantity is less than or equal to the minimum order quantity. Next, we're going to jump down to the warehouse management enhancements. So bringing in 2023.2, the warehouse management feature updates wave creations, where the wave creation page now contains a new and edit option for setting up custom wave criteria templates, rather than navigating to the previous safe searches and adding the suffix accordingly. We get new pick task details and bulk assignment, where you can click either of the buttons on the Access Wave search on the facility, and then you get to select the wave status for unreleased orders to rule and assign the pending release or release status. You also get to assign additional pick task columns, which are preferences used to set 2 additional columns on pick task lines and on the pick task page. When you use these columns, you can enter more details about the item or order for each task line. And then before you begin order picking, you can assign multiple pick tasks to each warehouse operator. Even if you assign pick tasks during wave creation, you can reassign them in bulk. Okay. The other enhancements include for pick reversal capabilities. Now we get to do pick reversals on work orders. You can now reverse the pick task for components of the work orders that have not been partially or fully built. You can reverse up to 10 pick task lines at a time, or you can reverse specific lot numbers and overpick components. The NetSuite WMS updates the status and bin details of the associated work order. When you reverse order picked components, it does not change or increase the original quantity of the work order. We also get to select a bin on reversed items. So you get to choose to activate the choose bin for reversed picked items. And this rule allows you to uniquely select the bin going to be used when you reverse the picks. Other updates to the mobile processes that we get with this release is the ability for PO receiving process, you can search for orders to receive using the manufacturer's part number on the item record, so the MPN field. For inbound shipment and PO receiving processing, you get to tally scan different item types continuously on the enter quantity page. This is an option you can set on the enable tally scan rule. For accounts using the advanced receiving feature, you can also activate the enable restock option for returns in the system rules. When you manually create item receipts for return items on the app, the restock option enables you to return items for inventory. We also have, for the supported inventory processes, you can enter an item by scanning its HIBC barcode. That becomes a native supported coding feature now. And on the bin transfer process, you can now select to choose a transfer all option for all lot or serialized control items. Okay. Next, we're going to jump down to the manufacturing updates. So one of the first things we're going to notice, the costed bill of materials suite app is now available for install in all accounts utilizing advanced inventory and manufacturing modules. So the cost of bill of material suite app calculates, of course, the total cost of an assembly based on the bill of material revision, routing, and templates being used. The suite app also allows you to do a handful of different configurations in reporting, including the materials cost subtab. You can now view material cost based on item costing method, purchase price, or item default price on the subtab. Using the details, you can analyze the cost of the materials used in the assembly. You will also get an assembled costs subtab where you can view and analyze the cost breakdown that includes all your manufacturing operations, and the details, of course, going to help you understand the processes in place for each manufacturing operation that roll up to your costed assembled product. And then we get a fully exploded cost subtab where we get the full detailed breakdown of material and operational cost by cost tabs within the subtab. Okay. Then we're going to skip to the mobile or the manufacturing mobile enhancements. So in here, we get a bulk manager role that no longer has access to the manufacturing mobile page. That has been deprecated and moved to a new role. Number of work orders displayed on the select work order page is controlled by a new set of system parameters. In the mobile manufacturing preferences, we get to set the value for the past work order days to be shown in this. For example, if you only want to pull the last 30 days, you now get to set those filters so we don't get a full exhaustive list. The manufacturing mobile now enables you to also add a field and update the custom records using the SCM mobile no-code solution framework. The framework also allows a custom field to be added to a page with no coding effort. Next, we're going to jump to the work instructions and Traveler Suite app. So we now have a full suite app that you can install, again, for those with the manufacturing modules in NetSuite, WIP and Routing's Advanced Manufacturing, where you get to generate travelers and reports in a custom format. So when you use these reports, the shop floor personnel can perform day-to-day assembly operations. A traveler report outlines information such as the required components, work order details, work instructions to be performed on each step of the operation. The report is intended to travel from one work center to another for each operation in the work order until the work order is complete. The Suite app includes a traveler report that uses a default template to generate the report for the shop floor personnel, which also allows you to create your own custom template. The traveler preferences page allows you to generate the traveler report in the desired template format and desired directory location within the file cabinet. Next, we're going to jump down to quality management. So NetSuite allows in the new enhancements to automatically assign the quality management inspection queue. There is now support for quality management tablet navigation from the SCM mobile framework, so we don't have two separate frameworks anymore. We can generate COAs from the item fulfillment of a transfer order, not just a shipment or a sales order fulfillment. That concludes our section on inventory and manufacturing processes. Next, we're going to jump into the banking suite apps elements. Today, we're going to talk about the Cash 360 enhancements. This includes version 1.1, which will bring you a list of enhancements, including on the Cash 360 dashboard, you can now view cash projections not only for your subsidiary, but also for other active subsidiaries, including your consolidated subs. The opening balance amount now considers the sum of all charts of accounts with the type bank for your subsidiary up to the current posting period only. The cash forecast table now includes all posting transactions that contribute to the computation of AR and AP amounts. Previously, the cash forecast table only considered invoices for AR and only vendor bills for AP. You can now view future data transactions in the cash forecast. Future data transactions are for specific date ranges that fall into the next posting period. Future data transaction amount also included in the total closing balance calculations. Also, in the cash forecast table, you can now click any of the following amounts to open a window to list all the accounts included in the calculation. So this includes opening balance, future data transaction, accounts receivable, accounts payable, and you can also export the list of transactions that contributed to the amount calculation as a CSV file. Okay, so we're going to jump to the account setup and maintenance of this. Line item IDs in the system notes. So system notes will now display the line ID and line transaction ID fields, where you can use these fields to track changes on line items using Suite Analytics and Suite QL. Our next section is projects. There's quite a list of enhancements under projects. We'll try and break this down for you. So the project feature gives us updates to project billing and revenue usability improvements. This, on the project billing rules, the revenue tab was added, and it links you to the project revenue recognition rules. It's now also possible to display revenue elements and recognize revenue directly on project revenue rules. The project revenue rules are also displayed on linked project billing rules. The summary box shows how much revenue has been recognized to date. Through the improved visibility, it also allows a better audit of billing and revenue rules and provides transparency of linked project rev rules when monitoring project billing. These improvements make the whole revenue recognition process and revenue management far more intuitive, as revenue recognition projects are now closer to each other. We also have project plan improvements. On project records, the financial tab will now show you the project revenue recognition summary information, which is also visible when the project revenue recognition feature is enabled. The summary information will show you total revenue, recognized revenue, and planned revenue, as well as a link to the revenue arrangement with the details. The improvement, of course, helps find the respective revenue arrangement for the project, and it provides more transparency when sweetness is in mind. Next, we will also talk about, on the project plan improvements, the project plan recalculation information is now displayed on the project plan subsection of the system information tab. This shows the project plan recalculation data, such as the last project plan recalculation date and time, if the project plan is being recalculated, the last project plan recalculation time, average project plan recalculation, and project plan recalculation triggers. The System Information tab will also show the System Notes sub-tab, where this displays information about what has been changed within each recalculation. Okay. Next, we're going to jump to the time and expenses enhancements under the project. We can now turn on and off the notification for the reject time entry box. We can also control the status in the accounting preferences on the time and expense records. We also have there's the updated maximum load for projects with charges and invoices. So in the Project 360 dashboard, the new version is 1.1.1. The system can now load up to 6,000 projects that include charge and invoice values. The retrieved values appear under the unbilled charges and charges not invoiced column under the My Project portfolio portlet. We can also view the same values in the billing and revenue and financial portlets. That's it for me, Tina. We're going to jump down to the Tavarna Suite apps.
Thank you so much, Eric. And now, before we move on to our Suite apps and what's coming for 2023.2, it's time for a poll, and you should see that populating on your screen right now. Please do take a couple of seconds to answer. Okay, thank you. Now over to Shravanti for our Suite apps.
Thanks, Tina. Hi, everyone. So I'll go through the updates we have coming in with our Suite apps in the new release 2023.2. I'll go over the features first and follow up with a short demo after. So, as you might know, we do releases twice a year to be in line with the NetSuite releases. So, if needed, you could use your release preview accounts for testing. So, the first up is SkyDoc. It is a very popular product of ours. It is a remarkable document management solution built on the robust NetSuite platform. It harnesses the capabilities of Amazon's AWS, ensuring a secure, scalable, and cost effective approach to file storage. Thanks to Amazon's expanded storage, the worry of running out of space becomes a thing of the past, as you are charged solely for the space you utilize. The interface of SkyDoc seamlessly merges with NetSuite, presenting all files associated with specific NetSuite record within a conveniently accessible subtab right on the record itself. Furthermore, SkyDoc's user-friendly portal provides the opportunity for collaboration beyond the boundaries of the NetSuite ecosystem. This enables external users to participate in activities such as file approval, rejection, signatures, and even secure document sharing. Now let's delve into the latest updates we have made to this Suite app. The first one is auto sweep on custom records and transactions. So this feature offers a means by which files linked to various NetSuite records can be seamlessly and automatically moved from NetSuite's file cabinet to SkyDoc, ensuring a high level of safety and security for storage. Once transferred, these files become accessible through the SkyDoc subtab within the NetSuite environment. This feature is, however, applicable only to transactions, entities, case records, and activities currently. But with the 2023.2 release, it will be extended to custom records and transactions as well. The next update we have is on the SkyDoc portal. The UI is receiving a significant facelift, and it would be more user-friendly with the new release. And the next app we have is Bulk Email Invoices, or BEI for short. It is devised to streamline the dunning process. It is also built on NetSuite platform, and it is designed to make your invoicing and collections process a breeze. This application enables you to effortlessly generate bulk transactional emails, each containing multiple invoice attachments and even statements also. With the option to employ personalized templates, you can customize these emails according to your needs. And moreover, you retain the flexibility to initiate these emails manually or set them to be sent out automatically at your chosen intervals. To refine the process further, we have custom filters which enable you to selectively sort invoices based on attributes such as class, date, location, subsidiary, and more. 2023.2 release just makes the dunning process more efficient than ever. It has the ability to include customer contacts as well in emails. So with this feature, email addresses of contacts and customer records can also be included in dunning. This was not available before. And we also have an option to do personalized dunning email templates, wherein you can assign email templates for each level of dunning to each of your customers. Let's now look at our third Suite app, which is Inventory Count. This particular app is designed to simplify the process of cycle counting within your NetSuite environment. With its comprehensive range of functionalities, Inventory Count empowers users to seamlessly align warehouse quantities with the inventory data in NetSuite. It facilitates routine warehouse counts, enables inventory adjustments to be executed and recorded in NetSuite, all the while streamlining and optimizing the associated time and effort. Moreover, this app provides seamless integration with barcode scanners, allowing for real-time inventory scanning. Incorporating an item into the inventory account suite app is a straightforward process. You would just log into the app, select the appropriate location and bin numbers if the location uses bins. Then you would just scan the item, input its serial number or quantity, and just hit submit. We have added a range of enhancements to this app in the upcoming release. The first one is dashboards. We have added several informative dashboards that would make the entire process of counting and processing more easier than ever. And we've also added tally counting for simple items. We've had the same for serial items before, and this time we're doing it for simple items as well. We also have several reports showing uncounted items, inventory numbers, and bins. And we also have an ability to create inventory adjustments on uncounted items. This would be particularly useful in cases where you have to adjust NetSuite quantities of items that are not physically present in a warehouse to count. And we've also added a pre-built user role for this application, so it is easier to segregate the duties. Finally, we have Portals Pro. As you know, it is a single unified platform for vendor management, customer and employee engagement. It is secure, it's web-based, built for NetSuite, and it is a self-service solution offering a separate web portal for each of these user groups. In the vendor management aspect of Portals Pro, your procurement team would be able to use this app to initiate and approve vendor onboarding and also receive other vendor information updates. They'll be able to respond to vendor inquiries, view invoices submitted by them, and a lot more. The best part of this app is the OCR ML powered AP automation, which is the part where the invoices sent by the vendors could be converted into bills automatically, which eliminates the need to do a manual entry and thus saving your AP team's time and effort. On the other side, vendors can use this portal to submit responses to onboarding questionnaires, view and update their information, view status of certain transactions like their POs, bills, item receipts, etc. They would be able to send invoices instead of doing the same over an email or a physical copy. They would be able to raise inquiries, etc. Now, similarly, customers can use the portal for self-service, e-payment, etc. And HR teams can use Portals Pro to communicate and keep employees engaged by broadcasting company updates, holiday calendar, newsletters. And employees can use the same portal to enter expenses, apply for and approve leaves, enter timesheets, etc. Let's look at what we have for Portals Pro in this release. We've added two-factor authentication, that is second level of authentication over the existing username and password. We've also added multi-stage onboarding, where you would be able to assign onboarding questionnaires to your vendors in different stages, and we could also have approvals built in between different stages. We have also added email-based approvals for onboarding requests, reassessment or recertification requests, or even in cases where vendors request for information updates on their, let's say, address, bank account, etc. All of those can now be approved via email instead of having to log into NetSuite. And we've also made some UI enhancements on the same. So these are the highlights on a high level. Let me walk you through a short demo of these. Let me start by sharing my screen. Give me a second, please. Okay. So can you see my screen, Tina?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So we'll start with SkyDoc. The first feature in SkyDoc is the auto sweep, right? So I'm going to open a custom record in NetSuite, and I'll show you how the file attached to it in file cabinet gets moved to SkyDoc. So if there are any files that get dropped in file cabinet, they could be picked up by a process that could run, at the intervals that you choose, and it would move the files into SkyDoc and would free up the file cabinet space. The files that are in the file cabinet will get deleted on a different schedule. So all of that can be configured to your needs. So this is a custom record. As you can see, it is one of our records we use in our Portals Pro app. So if you see here, there is a file that is attached to it. It is under file cabinet currently, and it is not there in SkyDoc. So what happens here is a script would run and move the file. So for the purpose of this demo, I'm going to just run the script manually. Give me a second, please. Okay, so I just ran the script in the background. It would take a few seconds, and it just finished. So now let's refresh the record. See what happens. I would go to SkyDoc tab. As you can see, SkyDoc is integrated into your NetSuite UI. Now the file is successfully moved into SkyDoc, and the original file still stays under file cabinet and will be picked up by the process that would run every few days to clean up the space. So in case there is any error, the files will still exist for a few days to roll back. Okay, so this is about the auto sweep on custom records, and the same applies on custom transactions as well. Now let's look at the SkyDoc portal and see how it looks like now. Just logging in. So if you are our existing SkyDoc portal user, you might notice that the UI looks very different now. It is in line with the UIs of our other apps as well, and it just provides a better user experience. So this portal, as I said, could be used for external collaboration. And for any user to access this portal, they don't need a NetSuite license. So they just need an account created to be able to access the portal externally. So this is a feature where your external collaborators can come in and drop files, and the same files will appear in NetSuite for you to look at. So let's say this particular user is coming in and looking at the onboarding documents, and if they have to submit a certification file or something, they would just go in here and hit upload file. And if needed, they could categorize this into different labels. So this is just for additional labeling, as I said. It is not mandatory to do this. I would just say compliance and then choose a file and drop it here. So it's as simple as that. And if for any reason, if the user has to create a new folder, they could go ahead and do it from this particular option here. And the second feature on SkyDoc portal is about approval of records. So as you can see, by default, it shows me all the documents that are pending my approval. So it is pending approval, and this is the account user. So the user could just click in here, look at the actual document, and then choose to either approve or reject it. So I would maybe just hit this, and approve. I just have to put in my approval comments and hit submit. That's it. So it's as simple as that. And if for any reason you need them to sign, they could use this feature called a signature. They just have to sign and then hit submit. And the signature goes along with this document. Now they could also see the files that have been approved by them and even rejected. So this is on SkyDoc side. I'm just trying to keep the demo short to save time. And the next step is bulk email invoices. So let me go back into NetSuite. So just like our other apps, we have a custom rule called BEI AR built for BEI and related functionalities, which is it just makes it easier for these features to be accessible and also allows for a segregation of duties. So this is some dashboard information that we already have on our existing version. So with the upcoming version, we have the ability to include customer contacts as well. Let me just take an example of this particular customer. So this customer has this primary email and also has contacts who have different emails. So for your dunning process, these emails are already shown up in your BI screen, and it just makes your follow-up process very easy. So let me show you how it looks like on the BI screen. So I would go to customers, sales, bulk email invoice. Now I would just hit search. It shows up all the invoices that are due within the dates that are selected here. Okay, so let me show you the same customer. So this is the customer, and the email IDs are auto-populated here. You just have to select this and continue with the BEI process. And as usual, we have the options again, the same things, where you could only look at open invoices, and you would be able to include customer statements and all the other features. You could select follow-up configurations as well. Those features still remain as is. And the second one is the ability to personalize dunning email templates. So what happens on the screen is you would be able to select one set of templates. Those will be applied to all the emails that are sent out. But if you have anything specific to be sent for a customer, you could do it on the customer record. Let me go back to this particular customer. And this would be available under bulk email invoice tab. As you can see, there are different templates for different levels of dunning. So if a level 2 dunning is to happen on this particular customer, this template will be used and not the one that is generically applied. And if for some reason there is no template available, then it defaults to the global setup of template. So these are the two very useful features we have on BEI in the upcoming release. Let's now take a look at inventory count. Let me just log in to the account to give you the demo. So I would have to switch roles to the warehouse manager IC. Again, a custom role built for this particular app. This is also new with the upcoming release. Now I said we have several reminders, right? So this is the reminders talking about the current day count for successful, reconciled, and failure cases. And we also have certain dashboards here. This is the inventory count analysis, which shows the successful, failed, and reconciled counts as a trend graph as well. And there is also moving average on the same. On the key performance indicators, we have total inventory count data and reconciled inventory count for this month versus the previous month. We have inventory average variance, which is a KPI scorecard showing inventory record accuracy percentage, cycle count difference, and the variance cost for this week, this month, and this year, and today as well. Next, we have total count variance, which is again a graphical representation of sum of total count variance in percentage. And there is a moving average for the same as well. Next is the count variance by location. It shows the sum of total variances for each location and the variance cost as well. We also have the ability to drill down into the report by choosing the location of choice, and you'll be able to see additional details. These are the details. Okay. The next up is scanned items pending processing. It shows the successfully scanned items which haven't yet been reviewed or processed. There are filters to filter by location and even date as well. Next up is a tally count for simple items. Let me take you to the inventory count barcode scanner page and show you what that looks like. So for this, I just have to choose a location to start with. I'm going to use this. And this warehouse uses bins, so I'm just going to select a bin. And I just have to start by scanning the item. So I'll scan my first item. Then now it shows up the option to do a tally count. So if I turn it on, then I don't have to enter the quantities against each of these items. I could just continue scanning one after the other, and the quantity gets incremented by one each time. If this is turned off, I'll have to enter the quantity manually. So let me just turn it on. I'm just going to keep entering the same item. And as you can see, the quantity is getting incremented by one. And it's as simple as that. All I have to do is hit submit for this count to be recorded. Now let's go back to NetSuite. Next up is the reports we have. You can find these under inventory count analytics. There are a set of reports that show us different types of uncounted items. Uncounted items that use bins, that don't use bins. Let me just show you one of these. It just shows the details of the uncounted items, the location and the bin, and the NetSuite quantity against each of these. Okay, sorry, going back to NetSuite. And similarly, we have other uncounted reports for non-bin items and even just for bins. And we also have it detailed by the inventory number with bin items and items that have inventory numbers without bins as well. Let me show you an example of this one. So these are the uncounted items by inventory number and location, and even, of course, the item code as well. So these are the different reports we have. All right, so this wraps up the updates we have on inventory count. The last one is Portals Pro. So the first feature we have on Portals Pro is the two-factor authentication. So let me just log in to the portal. Right, so now it is going to ask for a verification code. just like any other 2FA apps. So this is the code. I'm just going to hit verify. Now it lets me into the application. While we're here, we can talk about multi-staged onboarding as well. So this particular vendor has been assigned stage 1 and stage 2. So let me show you stage 1. This is the demo account, so it is slower than usual. All right, so this is stage 1. So from what it looks like, this particular vendor has finished filling out stage 1 and submitting all the necessary information. And that is why stage 1 has been approved. Now this vendor has been assigned stage 2 questionnaire. So they will have to fill this out and again submit. And just like our usual process, these questionnaire responses go for approval. And once approved, this vendor, if they don't have any further stages to go through, will be completely onboarded in NetSuite. So let me show you how the UI looks like for an onboarded vendor. And the password. Okay, 2FA for this one. Okay, so this is how the UI looks like for an onboarded vendor. And you can see that we have updated the UI for this one as well. And just like you saw the SkyDoc portal UI, this is also on the similar lines. And so this vendor, if they have to submit any account information update, like let's say if they want to edit their phone number, they would just come in here and edit the phone number and hit submit. The request now goes into the approval queue, and depending on how this account is set up for approval, the approval emails go to the approvers. And once the approvers approve this request, either via email or by directly going into NetSuite, their profile information gets updated on their vendor record in NetSuite. So let's go to this particular vendor in NetSuite. And let me just walk you through how it looks like in terms of email approval. Okay. Okay, just logged in to NetSuite. Going to this particular vendor. Okay, on the communication tab, you could see all the emails that have been sent with respect to this vendor. So as you can see, I just updated the primary information. So emails have gone to all the approvers who are supposed to approve this request for the updates to be made in NetSuite. So let me just show you the communication from in here. So this is a NetSuite communication view, but this is how the email would look like. And the approvers would be able to see what the existing data is and what is the change that has been requested. It gets highlighted in red. And if something has remained unchanged, it would show up in black. So this particular user, they don't have to go to NetSuite to look at the same request and approve it. They could just do it via our approve or reject options. So let's say I'm gonna approve this. That's it. And the request gets approved. And if they want to see more details, they could always navigate to the NetSuite record using the link that is shown here. Well, that's it. So in terms of 2FA, multi-staged onboarding and email approvals and some UI changes on portals. So Tina, that wraps up the demo as well. So if our audience have any questions, they could reach out to us.
Okay, thanks so much, Shravanti.
Thank you, Tina. Thank you, everyone.
All right, thanks everyone for joining us, and I hope to see you in a future session. If you would like to reach out to any of our team members, please do use the contact information on the slide in front of you. And if you have any questions, now is the time to ask. We are going to be hanging around just for a couple of minutes. See you again.